Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'll discuss topic Alzheimer's disease. So before we begin, we need to understand first what dementia is. Okay, so dementia is nothing but a set of symptoms consist of uh, poor memory and difficulty in learning. Okay, it is caused by mainly damage to brain cells, and various there are various diseases which causes this damage. So most important one among those diseases is Alzheimer's disease. Okay, so it is the most common cause or most common form of dementia. It increases in prevalence with age and is rare in people under 45 years. Okay, so mostly it occurs in old age people. Okay, that too in it is common in more than 60 years of age. Okay, now pathogenesis. So genetic factors play an important role, and about 15% of the cases are familial. Okay, so there are mainly two types in Alzheimer's disease. It may be early onset or it may be late onset. Early onset is a disease with autosomal dominant inheritance, and later onset where the inheritance is polygenic. Okay, there are some mutations, genetic mutations are there which causes this disease, and these mutations is mainly the allele which is mainly responsible for causing this disease is apolipoprotein E4. Okay, apoe4 is responsible for causing this disease. Okay, then if we talk about the pathophysiology, then we need to understand two things. Okay, first is plaques and second is tangles. Okay, so we need to understand how plaques and tangles are formed, which these two things are responsible for the for causing the Alzheimer's disease. Okay, so let's study this. See, this is neuron. Okay, here this is cell membrane. Okay, this is cell membrane. So if we see, this is cell membrane, this is inside cell, this is outside cell membrane of a neuron, and there is this protein which is called as amyloid precursor protein or APP. Okay, this protein helps neuron grow and repair itself after injury. So this is very important, and like other proteins, it gets used, broken down and recycled. Okay, so this is important here. Now what happens, this protein gets chopped by two enzymes, mainly alpha secretase and gamma secretase. So alpha secretase chops it and gamma secretase chops it, and then these fragments which are formed here, okay, these are soluble, and this is a normal process. But if beta secretase comes in a frame and it chops this protein, it forms the fragment, it forms this monomer, this fragment which is not soluble, and this fragment is known as amyloid beta. Okay, so if this fragment is formed because of beta secretase, then it 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 starts accumulating outside the neuron cells. Okay, outside this is cell membrane, no, so this accumulates outside the neuron cells and it forms a plaque. This is sticky, this chemical, this monomer is sticky and it is non-soluble, and it accumulates from the beta amyloid plaques. Okay, and this interrupts the signaling between the two neurons, and thus the neurotransmission is affected, and this way the disease progresses. Okay, so this is about plaque. Now what about tangles? Okay, so tangles are mainly formed inside the cell as opposed to the plaques which forms outside the cells. Okay, what happens here is there is cytoskeleton inside. Okay, so neurons are supported by its cytoskeleton, which is mainly microtubules, and in this is the structure of this thing. Okay, cytoskeleton, microtubules. So what happens is there is one thing, kinase, which which releases its phosphate group, and this phosphate group, it gets bind to tau protein which is present in these microtubules. Okay, so it gets bind to this phosphate group, gets bind to tau protein, and then this proteins which supports this system, this microtubules, it 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 loses its function. Okay, and then this tau protein starts accumulating outside, and thus this thing breaks. Okay, this whole thing breaks, and because of this, tangles accumulate, so these kind of structures are formed inside the cells, and as there is breakage of this system, this leads to apoptosis, that is programmed cell death of these neurons. Okay, and this leads to brain atrophy. So this brain atrophy is the main pathophysiology. Okay, so here, if we see brain in Alzheimer disease, if we see macroscopically, it is atrophic. Okay, particularly the cerebral cortex and hippocampus. Okay, the disease is characterized by the presence of senile plaques and neurofibrillary tangles. Okay, as I said earlier, that mainly plaques and tangles play an important role in its pathophysiology. Okay, this accumulates in the cerebral cortex. Histopathological staining demonstrates significant quantities of amyloid in the plaques. Okay, and this has led to the suggestion that the disease may be due to defects in the ability of neuronal cells to degrade the unwanted proteins. Different neurotransmitter abnormalities have been described. There is impairment of the cholinergic transmission. Okay, so that's it about pathophysiology. Thank you.